This man, named the suspect in the black t-shirt, and his secret anger caused the death of 4 famous people in Lagos on January 2nd, 2026. He decided to kill a gospel singer named Sheun Praise because he was angry about a gift of 500,000 naira. The other 3 people who died were a popular blogger named Joe Media TV and 2 other gospel singers named Bisola Bright and Holy Michael. They all went to a music studio in the Ajah area of Lagos to celebrate a birthday and sing praises to God. They did not know that the man sitting with them was planning to put poison in their food. This man was supposed to be a friend, but his heart was full of hatred because of money. When the sun came up the next morning, all 4 people were found dead inside the studio. They did not have any injuries on their bodies, and there was no sign of a fight. At first, the people of Nigeria thought it was a mistake or a spiritual attack, but the police soon found out that it was a planned murder. This man used a plate of food to destroy 4 families and end the lives of 4 talented young people who were just starting their careers. The story started when the group gathered at the studio for a night of music and celebration. Because the studio was very far from where they lived in Lagos, they all agreed it was better to sleep there and go home the next day. This is a very common thing for musicians and creators to do when they work late. They were all happy and recording videos for their fans. The blogger, Joe Media TV, was there to capture the beautiful moments of the praise night. Everyone was in a good mood, but the suspect was watching them and waiting for the right time to act. He had brought a deadly poison with him to the party. He was waiting for the moment when food would be served so he could slip the poison into the portion meant for Sheun Praise. He did not care that his other friends were also there and might eat from the same plate. His only goal was to make sure that his target did not live to see the next day. He sat among them, smiled with them, and acted like a brother while he was preparing to kill them all. The reason why this man was so angry is very shocking to everyone who hears it. The suspect told the police that back in 2025, he had a very big problem and needed 5 million naira to pay his debts. He reached out to his friend, Sheun Praise, and asked for the money. The singer did not have 5 million naira to give away, but because he was a kind person, he sent the suspect 500,000 naira to help him a little bit. Most people would be very happy to receive 500,000 naira as a gift, but this suspect was not happy at all. He felt that 500,000 naira was too small and that his friend was insulting him by not giving him the full 5 million. He told the police investigators that he felt the victim was very rich and was just being stingy. This bitterness stayed in his heart for many months. Every time he saw his friend succeeding or singing on stage, his anger grew bigger. He did not see the 500,000 naira as a help, he saw it as a reason to seek revenge. This shows that some people will hate you even when you try your best to help them with what you have. When the morning came and the people at the studio tried to wake them up, they realized something was very wrong. All 4 individuals were cold and they were not breathing. The news spread across Lagos like wildfire. People were calling their families and crying because these were famous people that many people loved. The police arrived and cordoned off the studio to look for clues. They found the remains of the food they had eaten the night before. At first, the suspect tried to act like he didn't know anything, but the police are very smart. They started asking questions and looking at who was present at the party. They discovered that the man in the black t-shirt had a motive to hurt Sheun Praise. After he was arrested and questioned for a long time, he finally broke down and told the truth. He admitted that he put the poison in the food. He said he didn't mean to kill the blogger or the other 2 singers, but because they all ate together as friends, the poison affected everyone. This is a very sad lesson that one person's anger can destroy many innocent people who have done nothing wrong. The police investigation in Lagos revealed that the suspect had been planning this crime for a long time. This man named the suspect did not just act on a whim, he had been carrying this hatred since the year 2025. When the police searched his background, they found that he had been complaining to other people about the 500,000 naira he received. He told people that he deserved more and that his friend was chopping life while he was struggling. This type of envy is very dangerous. The police also looked into the type of poison that was used.
They found that it was a very strong chemical that causes the heart to stop during sleep. This is why there was no struggle and why nobody heard any screaming during the night. The victims just fell asleep and never woke up. The families of Bisola Bright, Holy Michael, Sheun Praise, and Joe Miga TV were all waiting at the police station to hear the truth. They could not believe that a friend they invited to a birthday celebration was the same person who brought death into the room. The Lagos State Police Command worked very hard to gather all the evidence. They interviewed the owner of the studio and other people who were nearby. They found out that the suspect was the one who was most active around the food area that night. When they confronted him with this information, he started to give conflicting stories. First, he said he didn't eat the food. Then, he said he ate but didn't feel sick. The police knew he was lying. They used forensic technology to test the plates and the cups in the studio. The results showed the presence of the deadly poison. This man thought he was clever and that he could hide his crime by pretending it was a mysterious death. But in modern Nigeria, the police are using better tools to catch criminals. The suspect eventually realized that he could not escape the evidence. He confessed that his financial frustration pushed him to do it. He felt that the world was unfair to him and he wanted to take it out on his successful friend. Before we go deeper into the confession of this killer, you need to click the subscribe button right now. You should subscribe to Tremendous Crime in History because we tell you the real truth about what is happening in our society. We use simple language so that everyone can understand how to stay safe from frenemies and people who carry secret grudges. If you want to see more stories about how justice catches up with criminals who use poison and betrayal, this is the best channel for you. Subscribe now so you can learn how to protect yourself and your family from people who pretend to be friends but have evil intentions. As the news of the confession hit social media, Nigerians were very loud in their anger. People started sharing photos of the 4 victims and calling for justice. The blogger Joe Media TV was very well known for sharing entertainment news, and his fans were devastated. The gospel singers had many followers in their churches and on YouTube. The fact that they died while they were at a praise night made the story even painful. It showed that the suspect had no respect for God or for the holy environment of the studio. He chose a place of worship to commit a place of murder. Many experts started talking on the news about body language and how to spot a friend who is jealous of you. They warned that if someone is always complaining that you didn't give them enough money, even after you have helped them, you should stay far away from them. This suspect was a clear example of someone who had a poverty mindset that turned into a killer mindset. The families of the victims are now asking for the maximum sentence for this man. They want the government to ensure that he pays for the 4 lives he took. The police have finished their initial report and are preparing to take the case to court. They want to make sure that the suspect does not get bail because he is a danger to society. This man destroyed the future of 4 people because of 500,000 naira. If you think about it, 500,000 naira is a lot of money to give to a friend for free, but to the suspect, it was a reason to kill. This is why we must be careful with the people we call our brothers. Not everyone who eats with you is happy that you have food on your table. Some people are just waiting for the chance to put something in your bowl. The story of the Lagos studio poisoning will be remembered for a long time as a story of ultimate betrayal.
The 4 families of the victims are currently going through a pain that words cannot fully describe. This man, named the suspect, has caused a hole in their hearts that will never be filled. Bisola Bright was a young woman with a beautiful voice who had so many dreams. Holy Michael and Sheun Praise were talented men who used their music to make people happy. Joe Media TV was a hard-working man who was building his business in the digital world. All of their hard work was ended in one night because of a small amount of money. The families say that they didn't even know that the suspect was unhappy. They thought he was part of the group and that he was happy for their success. This is the most painful part, knowing that you were kind to someone who was secretly planning your funeral. The parents and siblings of the victims are calling on the international community and the Nigerian government to make sure this case is not swept under the carpet. We are reaching a very serious part of this story. I want everyone reading or watching this to go to the comment section right now. Type the words "Justice for the Four" to show your support for the families of Bisola, Michael, Sheung, and Joe Media TV. Do you think 500,000 naira is a small amount of money to give a friend? Or do you think the suspect is just a wicked person? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because your voice helps keep this story alive so the killers can be punished. The suspect's confession has also raised a lot of fear among other content creators and musicians in Nigeria. Many people are now afraid to host parties or sleep in studios with their colleagues. They are worried that someone among them might be holding a grudge they don't know about. This is a very sad situation because it means that trust is disappearing from our society. The police have advised that people should be very careful with shared meals and drinks. They say that if you are in a group, you should always keep an eye on your food. It is sad that we have to live this way, but the actions of the man in the black t-shirt have shown us that danger can come from anywhere. The suspect is still in custody, and he will soon face a judge who will decide his fate. Many people are hoping that he gets a life sentence or an execution because he killed 4 people with intention and planning. The suspect also told the police that he felt he had nothing to lose. This is a very dangerous way for a person to think. When someone feels that their life is not going well, they sometimes want to destroy the lives of others who are doing better. This is called malicious envy. Instead of working hard to make his own 5 million naira, the suspect chose to kill the person who gave him 500,000 naira. He thought that by killing his friend, he would feel better or get some kind of relief from his financial frustration. But now he has lost everything. He has no money, he has no freedom, and he has a conscience that will haunt him forever. He is a lesson to all young people that crime and murder are never the solution to money problems. If you are struggling, you should ask for help or work harder, but you should never turn your hand against the people who have been kind to you in the past. The public is also waiting for the final autopsy report to be released to the court. These reports will show exactly how the poison worked inside the bodies of the 4 friends. This information is very important for the trial because it proves that the death was not an accident. The blogger's family is especially vocal because Joe Media TV was just a guest who was caught in the middle of a fight that had nothing to do with him. He died just because he sat down to eat with his friends. This shows how one bad person can cause collateral damage, which means hurting people they didn't even mean to target. The story is a tragedy in every way you look at it. 4 young lives are gone, a suspect is going to jail, and many families are broken. We must use this story to teach ourselves about the value of life and the danger of uncontrolled anger and greed. The story of the Lagos studio poisoning is a very dark chapter in the history of Nigerian crime, and we must learn from it so it never happens again. This man, named the suspect, has shown us that the price of betrayal is very high. He thought he was being smart by using poison, but he ended up being a monster in the eyes of the whole world. The conclusion of this story is that justice is coming, but it will not bring back the dead. We must focus on the take-home lessons from this event. The first lesson is that you should be very careful about who you tell your financial success to. Sometimes when people see you doing well, they don't see the hard work you did, they only see the money you have. If you give them a small amount, they get angry. If you give them nothing, they also get angry. It is a very difficult situation, but being careful and staying humble can help you avoid some of these problems. The second lesson is about the company you keep. Just because someone has been a friend since 2025 doesn't mean they are still a friend in 2026. People change, and sometimes their hearts become full of darkness because of their own failures. You must always pay attention to how your friends react when you have good news. If they don't seem happy for you, or if they always ask for money and never offer help, they might not be true friends. The third lesson is that we must always be grateful for the help we receive. If someone gives you 500,000 naira when you are in trouble, that person is a lifesaver. You should not look at the 4.5 million they didn't give you, you should look at the 500,000 they did give you. The suspect's lack of gratitude is what led him to become a murderer. Gratitude is a shield that protects our hearts from envy and hatred. As we end this story on tremendous crime in history, we want to remind everyone that life is very precious. The 4 talents we lost, Bisola Bright, Holy Michael, Sheum Praise, and Joe Media TV, were people who were making the world a better place with their songs and their work.
They did not deserve to die because of someone else's greed. We should always pray for their families and hope that the law of the land gives them the justice they deserve. The suspect will now have to face the court, and we will continue to follow the news to see what the final sentence will be. We hope that this story serves as a deterrent to anyone else who is thinking about committing a crime because of money. No amount of money is worth the life of a human being, and no grudge is worth the punishment of an eternity in prison or an execution. Thank you for spending your time with us to learn about this real-life event. We at Tremendous Crime in History are dedicated to telling these stories so that the truth is always known. We want our community to be a place where we learn from the past to build a safer future. If you have any information about this case, or if you have a similar story you want us to cover, please reach out to us. We must continue to stand together against crime and evil in our society. The more we speak out, the harder it is for criminals to succeed. Always remember to stay vigilant, stay grateful, and stay safe in your daily lives. Justice for the 4 souls that were lost in that studio in Ajah. We will never forget them. Thank you for watching this full report. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so now so you don't miss our next chapter in the history of crime. Your support helps us to keep doing the research and bringing you these important stories. Please like the video and share it on your social media so your friends can also learn the lessons from this tragedy. We believe that by sharing knowledge, we can save lives. Stay alert and look out for one another. We will see you in our next video with more updates and more stories from the world of crime. Goodbye for now, and may we all live in a world where friends are truly friends and justice is always served to the wicked.